Welcome to this video on the Zenware channel. My name is Shri Satguru Buddha Rawa Bhagwan. In today's video, we're going to talk about the Shri. What is the Shri? So I hope this information will be helpful to you in understanding what is the Shri in the system. The Shri, spelled in many different ways depending on different cultures and traditions. S-R-I, S-H-R-E-E, S-H-R-I. The Shri is spelled in different ways, in different languages. The Shri is not only a being that can be found on Earth. The Shri is also born on other planets. What is the Shri? The Shri is a force of nature. The Shri is a divine being, a being in which is the force, the Shakti of the goddess. A Shri is, quite simply, one of the gods of creation, one of the gods of the Dharma. So a Shri is a force of nature. A Shri is the being that writes the story within their domain, their area. So the Shri are known on different planets to exist. Okay. Now, how do you say Shri? There are different ways of saying Shri. Okay. And I'm going to basically let you understand a little bit the sound behind Shri, the vibration behind Shri. Okay. So I invite you to close your eyes now. Okay. And just to absorb the sound of the Shri. Shri! On some planets, the Shri is very well known, and on some planets, the Shri is less well known, depending on the development cycle of that planet. Okay. The Shri is the being that writes the story, and there are different levels of Shri. There is a loka in which you can see all the Shri of the story. All the ones that have come and will come. All lined up, a wall of Shris. All turning in their boxes. The Shri is known to be in the box. And to turn on him or herself in circles, often to music, to the sound, to the music that comes with the Shri. The Shri is the music teller, the storyteller, the one who develops a part of the story. And the Shri turns on themselves in that box. The Shri has very odd habits, and is often accompanied with the concept of the window or the doorway to the box or that dwelling of the Shri. So in many cases, when a Shri takes manifestation in body, here in the physical, a practice of theirs often includes their door or their window of their residence. And often in Shri on Earth, the common day, a patio door, if you want to see it that way, right? And with the Shri, there's the whole play of the blinds or of the curtains, you know, when their domain is open for business, if you will, when the curtains are open or when the curtains are closed, and the Shri is saying, do not come to my door when my curtains are closed. Because the Shri gets to rest as well. The Shri doesn't only work to serve others. The Shri writes the story and is there for others, but is also there for themselves. The Shri is the Dharma. So the Shri do have their own domain. And on some planets, there are even cultures that are very focused around the Shri. Okay, just look here on Earth. Look at Hinduism, for example, where we see the Shri, the concept of the Shri, which is very important in culture and tradition and religion, right? And this is also the case on other planets where they also have an understanding of the Shri and the concept of the Shri, the force of nature that comes, the gods that come, right? And the gods that have their own domains, and when they're not an embodiment, who remain, right? Who remain in their residence and can be contacted, right? So the Shri is often known by this positioning right here, right? They receive and they project. You can communicate with them, and they can transform the strings that you connect with them and send you transformation and basically modify your story, modify your life, also known as miracles, right? Or if you've been a bad boy or a bad girl, maybe something bad as well, right? So the Shri is a being to be respected, right? As a being, a divine being that comes into the story, right? That is a part of the story, and that has the responsibility for writing a part of the story, right? So the Shri is known in that way. It's interesting to know that in some places there's even markets where they sell black market items that belong to Shri, as people in many cultures on different planets want to have an object that was held by a Shri or that was touched by a Shri, similar to we have now, for example, for sports on our planet here on Earth, people who like to have memorabilia from a sports player, maybe a baseball player or a hockey player or something like that. On some planets, people collect memorabilia from Shri, right? Because there's a thought that if the Shri put a vibration, a part of themselves, a divine part of themselves within that object, by having that object, touching that object, carrying that object, for example, you can carry a part of that Shri with you, of that vibration, that divine vibration. So in that way, there's like a black market of things that come from Shri, right? So the Shri are known, okay, in different planets within creation, okay, to be the forces of nature, the gods that come to the different planets, okay? And the Shri are very simply and very well known as those beings that turn in their boxes, right? Very odd beings in a way for someone who's not a Shri, but they understand themselves, right? So different people take the name Shri, and many people take the name Shri without fully understanding what that name really is. You either are a Shri or you're not a Shri. It's that simple, right? And if you know that you are, then you take the name, and if you don't know that you are, you wouldn't be taking that name normally, except if it was part of your name family heritage or something like that, right? So the Shri are those divine beings, those storytellers that come into the story. At the level of energy lokas, okay, there are different lokas. One of these levels is the energy loka, where you grow as an energy being. A Shri is a towering energy being at those levels. So most people are very small as far as height and width as energy beings. And at some lokas, you actually visualize your growth as an energy being at the level of energy lokas. Okay, the levels where you absorb the light through your downward cycle. Okay, you can actually grow as a spiritual being. And as you can grow, okay, the Shri is a very, 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 very high towering being. Think a tree, a very, very, very tall tree compared to a normal human, for example, to give you an idea of the scale of a Shri as a spiritual being compared to a human, a towering spiritual being. They are beings that are divine in nature. Okay, so they basically are the gods, essentially, that come into the story, right? And that have that divine spark, that Shakti, if you will, that Shri element within them, right? They are the divine beings that come into the story, the storytellers of the story, who have the ability to rewrite the story to the extent of their boundaries, right? Each Shri has its own domain in which it develops, essentially its own boundaries in which it develops, and has the ability to rewrite the story within that. So with Shri, with the arrival of the Shri, comes culture, comes story, comes songs, comes all these different things, because the Shri contains that creative energy and brings it into the story, and all the people around them basically falling under in their boundaries of that Shri basically are influenced by that Shri. So the Shri is also known as the one that harmonizes their area, okay? That basically brings balance for a place, for a planet, for a country, for an organization of people. Having a Shri is a very great blessing, because the Shri brings harmony, and things work better in society with the Shri, because the Shri's guiding hand protects society at the levels that the Shri has guidance and dominance over. So the Shri brings blessings to society, and that's why the Shri is, and everything that they've touched in their lifetime when they were embodied, is very well coveted by many, many different people, because its value is considered very high, because it holds the vibration of the Shri, if the Shri put their vibration into something, right? So in that way, the Shri is known on many, many different planets, okay? And is acknowledged as a part of the culture and heritage and tradition of all beings in creation. Okay, so there are different Shris, and they come into the story at different times. Okay, different gods that come into the story at different times. And the Shri are known, once again, to be in those boxes with that door and those blinds. And they open their blinds and visualize them turning in circles within that blind and dancing in circles. Okay, very odd beings, the Shri. Okay, but very important for the development of the story, as they are essentially the story bringers, the storytellers, the story holders of the story, and for a specific part of the story that they govern. Okay, so these are the Shri. I hope this video has been interesting for you. Thank you for listening to this video on the Zen Word channel.